Hey everyone, I'm Dale Stiles, and this week we're talking about blogging and if we ever did a blog. And I didn't start out with a blog, I started out with several websites before blogs were even a thing. I had a personal website that was intended for family and close friends to catch up on what we were doing. I was stationed out in California and had just started a new family, and that was my way of sharing photos, short videos, and short stories with everyone back home. I always thought of it as the modern slideshow. We might call it death by PowerPoint if it were in an office. But back in the day, my cousins and I had this fear of showing up at a relative's house and ending up sitting through 5 hours of family photos while the adults talked about the good old days, and all you could hear was kajeek, 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 and one of them things that get stuck, and they'd have to pull the carousel out and make all kinds of noise and fix it, and then we get to start over. Of course, things changed, and several people got the wise idea that they could make money from this sort of platform. So they did. Instead of talking about themselves, though, they chose to take magazine and newspaper articles and post them in blogs for profit. These here were what you might call professional bloggers. Yes, sir. Well, personal bloggers started to notice how things had changed, and they realized that they needed to provide content that provided value to the reader instead of the reader coming along for the ride. I think this is where blogs have enjoyed the most traffic to date. However, instead of reading every article that's published, users are searching for certain answers, and then in asking the question, they end up on someone's blog or YouTube channel. They stay just long enough to find the answer to the question, and then they leave. So to generate income, some of these bloggers will run ads, others sell items through affiliate marketing, and others sell online courses or other products that they've developed. I think this sort of blog is here to stay. And if you think about it, nothing that we have today is truly new. We kind of rename it. It's got a little slightly different format, but it's not that much different than it was in the beginning. And, my day, we had the long playing record. Had the 45, you had the LP, we had 8-track tapes, we had cassettes, then we had CDs, now we got the MP3 player. But it's the same music. I think the people who are going to continue, or, that have a tendency to write articles and blog, are going to continue to write articles, whatever that looks like. So whether the blog dies or not is kind of irrelevant. We're going to continue to tell our stories. In fact, I started my own blogging site back in January. It's part ministry, part veteran outreach. But due to the pandemic that we're living through, there's not a lot of content uploaded yet. Not enough to attract affiliates or sponsors anyway. But I've noticed that I have a lot of traffic. Way more traffic than I thought I would have without doing any marketing. I kind of had a plan to have X number of articles, blogs, posted before I made any attempt to try to attract any traffic. But the traffic came on its own. I don't know how, but somebody searched a question, they found an answer, they ended up on my blog site. Hey, I'll take it, right? So, and the feedback so far has been pretty positive. The key, like Blog Tyrant pointed out, is to have high value content that the reader is looking for. If the reader gets an answer to a question and finds additional content that meets their needs on your site, then they're much more likely to come back when they have another question, and as trust builds and relationship builds, the money starts to trickle in a little bit. And with enough of those little trickles, several of these folks have quit their day jobs, and some of them make a really good living. I don't think the blog's going anywhere. I hope y'all have a very blessed Mother's Day, and we'll see you next week.